That is a great summing up, actually, of the what you called, the word you used was galvanizing, which is exactly what opinion pieces can do. They have, and the reason they can galvanize is because they're so distinct, really, from the dryness of news reportage, because you can have a tone, you can have emotions, you're allowed to reference I version of yourself, you're allowed to tell an anecdote, which often columnists will do. You're allowed to fall into allegory, like Thomas Friedman did when he compared the entire Middle East to the animal kingdom, racist and disgusting as that was. Like the New York Times, for example, or liberal media, they want to express that they have an expertise in a certain area, but they make sure that the persons they choose for this expertise is precisely someone who does not have expertise in that area. And it's an extremely strange, twisted, gaslighty thing that they do. So if you're going to be writing about Africa, the person is absolutely never an African, so there isn't a lived experience of Africa, and very rarely will have a PhD or something in Africa. And of course, here, the person I'm thinking of is Nicholas Kristof, who has been seen as many as an expert on Africa. And then the second thing he's an expert on is gender and women. So it's really, it really just perfectly illustrates my point. There's, of course, Thomas Friedman, expert writing on the Middle East, and again it reminds me, of course, of a dear friend and former contributor for Warscapes magazine, Belen Fernandez, who wrote a book about Thomas Friedman, and the name of the book was The Imperial Messenger, which is exactly what he is. He's there shaping policy about Israel, pushing Israeli propaganda, but it's supposed to be through this sort of both sidey view of the Middle East.